Hey, my name's Josh, and I just wanted to talk to you today about my experience I've had with growing kale. I'm in Central Florida, so if you've ever questioned if you can grow kale, you definitely can in Florida. This variety is the Red Russian variety, but there's a couple of other kale varieties you could grow. There's a dinosaur kale, or a Tuscan kale, as some people call it. The Red Russian, winter borer, there's a dwarf variety, a couple different kinds you can grow here for sure. But right now, it is January 8th, the beginning of the year. I planted these guys in September, so they're about 4 months old, and I've gotten plenty of harvests off of them. According to IFAS, the University of Florida, you can plant these from September to February without a problem in most parts of the state. So I just actually planted some at the end of December in the garden that's behind you guys. I'll probably show you in a little bit. That's starting to grow. It's almost ready to harvest. These guys usually take like 50 to 60 days, maybe about 2 months until you can start harvesting them. But they're in my backyard. This is just like an open area, so it gets plenty of sun. You wouldn't want your kale to get any less than 5 hours of sun. That'll just make your kale kind of weak and spindly. So basically, the more sun, the better. The soil is a mix that I made. Here, I'll take you off the tripod, kind of get you up a little closer. The soil is a mix that I made. Oh, there's a lot of ants in that. It's something I should take care of. Maybe I'll make a video about that. But anyways, the soil is a mix I made of like peat moss, some compost, thick layer of mulch, some worm castings, some other things. But yeah, good soil. Kale's actually not too picky. You could probably try to grow it in Florida soil with some compost and mulch. As far as harvesting goes, I've just been taking the lower leaves of the plant. You can see this one. Gotten plenty of harvests off of. But there's a bunch of kales crammed in here I've been doing the same thing with, just taking the lower leaves off. As far as fertilizing goes, the only thing I've been using to fertilize these guys is a fish emulsion. So I just mix it with a little bit of water, spray it on the leaves, and also water with it about once a week. It's a heavy nitrogen fertilizer, so that's super good for leafy greens. Leafy greens use nitrogen the best to produce a big crop for you. Pests, haven't really had much pests. I haven't had to spray these guys for like aphids or whiteflies or really anything. Caterpillars, haven't had much problems. I've got a bunch of like herbs just kind of randomly planted around here that I think is helping. Like that sage, pretty much completely shaded out but still doing its thing. Over here I got like some dead basil and like a milkweed and stuff. There's some cilantro over here next to the other kale that I was talking about. So yeah, this kale is like a month old. But yeah, it's doing its thing too. As far as like planting, you can definitely do these from transplants, or you could use seeds. What I did was I pretty much just scattered seeds all over this area here. And there was a lot of kale that popped up. But just as they popped up, I was just thinning them out, kind of choosing the strongest ones and trying to give them enough space to kind of grow. But you can see like here, that's 2 kale plants that are pretty close together, and they're still growing pretty well. I don't really worry about like the exact spacing, you know. The plants will fill in the space as they grow. And I've had pretty good luck with that method. It just kind of takes out a headache of doing some measurements and things like that. Just kind of let nature do its thing. But yeah, I think that's all I've got on kale. If you have any other questions, or if you want to know the exact like ratios of the ingredients I use to build my soil, you can head over to my website. It's flgardening.com/kale. And I think that'll answer any other questions that you've got. So yeah, cool. I hope this really helps you. Have a good day.